There, just a little drop of the shoulder, which allowed her an extra beat over the defender, took it on, and just moved it forward with a little bit more fluidity and pace to Rose Lavelle. And again, she's cut inside, flashed that shot over the top. Both teams have been guilty of their forward players just bringing the requisite calibre, really, in forward positions.
Here goes Lavelle. It's a good ball through. Swanson on the turn. Now Haran, but the offside flag belatedly is up against Mallory Swanson.
Know that at the time, though. Let's see how close this was. Well, close. Didn't know that at the time, but again, moving it with pace. It's as simple as that sometimes, isn't it, in the game of football?
Beautiful touch from Maria. Appreciated all around the Parc des Princes. Hasegawa. Fujino. Nagano. Hasegawa once more. Can she pick the pass? Amano. Fujino. Japan building up a head of steam here. USA struggling to clear. And again, the referee allowed play to continue, and Hasegawa with her head in her hands as another chance goes begging for Japan.
Yeah, and another shot which is blazed over the top, I'm afraid. Both nations have been guilty of it. It sits up nicely. Again, just the lean back, the lack of technique there behind that shot from Hasegawa. It changes by the looks of things, and indeed a cooling break, I suspect here.
Well, Miyazawa Hinata of Manchester United is on for Japan to replace Fujino. And a little bit of treatment required for Rodman inside the penalty area. So for a chance for Emma Hayes to have a conversation, as we see here, conversation between herself and Sophia Smith, passing a note as well that then gets passed around to Haran. It's one thing trying to play football, isn't it? It's another trying to get near enough to a player to take a note that your manager's given you. But even Alyssa Nair, the goalkeeper, came over there to have a quick chat with Emma Hayes. Into the final 10 minutes. Is this where the game plan changes?
Well, it's opened out a bit, hasn't it, this match in the second half. And the United States have stepped it up a bit, I think, in the final third. Again, the benchmark was pretty low, let's be honest. We played for the best part of an hour of this quarter-final. But getting into some better forward positions, in the way it's panned out here, poor finishing, actually, from both of these teams has held them both back.
Will the USA have the bravery to go for it in the final 9 minutes plus added time? Or will the memory of recent failures at major tournaments weigh on their minds? Is this must win right now? Is it must not lose right now as we head towards extra time? That's the mentality question, and Emma Hayes is a manager who has mentality as such a strength. So many of her players have spoken about it, particularly at Chelsea. Millie Bright, the Chelsea captain. Mentality is what Emma is best at. As Kumagai just takes that little push from Lindsay Haran and wins the free kick. But this is about many things at the moment for the USA and Japan, but mentality, given the context of the USA's last few years, given the history between these sides, meeting in World Cup finals, meeting in gold medal matches, mentality is going to be key.
Indeed, yeah, that's why they went for it, isn't it? The whole scene around the US women's team, having set the standard for so long, decades even, had gone a little bit flat. It needed a stimulus from somewhere. I mean, it's the external appointment again, isn't it? Emma Hayes looking to follow in the footsteps of Jill Ellis. It's a huge test so early in her managerial career with the United States, Emma Hayes, to just tackle the issues that present themselves with a team that's underperforming in a game of this magnitude.
Can they find a way through? Smith taking on Kumagai. Kumagai gets the better of her. Very good defending from the Japan captain. Then are coming together with Lavelle. Again, the referee happy to let play continue. Tess Olofsson.
By and large, she's been solid, Kumagai. She really has at the back there for Japan.
Cleared away by Germer. And here is Rodman. Germer with the loose touch. Ueki almost onto it. Nicely worked though by the USA up to Sophia Smith, and now Rodman. She's had to do a lot of defensive work, Trinity Rodman, in this second half. They'll want to see her where she is now, further up the pitch on that right-hand side. Who is done? Sonnet. Bit of space here for the USA to utilise with Swanson. Can't find Haran, who's just started drifting into the penalty area as we approach the final stages of this game. We're heading to extra time unless either the United States of America or Japan can find a late goal. Sonnet. Done. Well intercepted by Japan, and Asagawa will get them on the move. Here is Ueki. Pursued by Sonnet. Does well to hold up the play as Japan stream forwards. Miyazawa can't pick out the run of Hamano Maika. Crystal Dome will have the opportunity to shepherd that behind.
Okay, the USA soak it up, but that was created by the substitute Ueki, just dropping short a yard or so, just to hold the ball up and bring others into play. It's good centre-forward play there. I mean, okay, they don't execute when the final ball has to be played in from the right-hand side, but the US almost, in a sense, having picked it up in the second half, are almost going backwards again here.
Again,
that's what we're talking about. The player retreating there, Smith, just to pick the ball up, add an extra body in midfield, can't do anything with it. And Japan just soak it up again, no worries.
Good marshalling by Japan as Nagano finds Kumagai. Koga. Miyazawa. Almost. Rio with the efforts to try and find a teammate, but Japan have it once more. Here is Hamano. Hasegawa. Hamano. Hasegawa, Japan clicking in these final moments at the Parc des Princes until that moment where the flag goes up offside.
On to go now is the just reflecting on exactly what has sort of happened with the USA. You can talk about the way the players are conditioned and the way teams are prepared for these matches. I just sometimes think too many players having an off day and one too many passes and touches going astray in the early 5 or 10 minutes in the early stages of a contest like this would rather set the tone for the USA. Certainly with the expectation behind them and the way they absolutely exploded through the group stages. For all the preparation, the coach can't do an awful lot when the players are out on the pitch, and too many passes went astray. The basics really were deserting the American players. Okay, there have been sort of many improvements in the match, but all told, there's been no upping in the quality, and of course she hasn't used a bench yet. She is stuck with Smith, Swanson and Rodman going forward. I mean, Iran has worked hard. You can't fault her work rate, but she's been in some good positions to send in crosses and hasn't been able to execute those.
You would think she'll have to turn to the bench in extra time, because that is where we are heading.
Sure.
Unless the USA or Japan can find the late breakthrough. And we're at that stage now where said breakthrough would surely win it, although never write off Japan in particular. 2 late goals in added time turned a 1-0 deficit against Brazil into a 2-1 victory in the group stage. They've had to really battle to make the knockout stages at these Olympic Games in the women's football. But they have gone toe-to-toe with the USA. They have made the USA look average. I think the USA have had a say in that as well. It's been a poor performance, individual errors from them. Huge credit to the way that Japan have set up. But they conceded the free kick here on Swanson.
Well, they came out of the blocks okay, I think. They had a lot of the ball and were getting in those attacking situations, but it was all about the front three not being able to make the ball stick and passes being underhit, overhit.
What can they do here? Anticipation, expectation ripples around the Parc des Princes. Rose Lavelle with the free kick for the USA. Moran is in there, it's met by Ueki. Held back into the danger area, Smith underneath it. Rodman sees her effort blocked by Kitagawa.
Great block that. That shot was on its way.
USA keep up the pressure. Albert's ball. Once again, Japan will clear. Hamano trying to keep the counter alive, and what a super ball that is for Miyazawa. Stopped in her tracks by Lavelle, who got back very well indeed. 4 minutes of added time at the Parc des Princes, and we're into them now. Miyazawa. Ueki's in the centre, and again it's right across the 6-yard box. There were 3 players to aim for. Maria will recycle. USA will get first contact. Miyazawa keeps it alive. Again, the USA there, slow to react. Nagano. Hasegawa. Again, picking that pass to precision. Maria. Poor delivery, away by Haram, but the USA deep, the USA pen back. Nagano. Moria. Over the head of Ueki, who went down, but no appeal. And Rodman will tidy up for the USA. Lovely skill from Trinity Rodman. That is not quite a trin spin, but just haven't seen enough of that for the USA.
Yeah, conspicuous by its absence, that little glimpse of flair from the US. That was a nervy few moments for them, wasn't it? Because Japan had good possession deep in the final third there.
Don's delivery, Smith won't latch onto it. The USA do have a throw, but I think nervy is the key word there. They are so desperate, the USA, for this tournament not to go the way that the World Cup went in 2023, that the Olympics went in 2016, and arguably in Tokyo as well. Yes, it was a bronze medal, but the USA are used to gold. At the moment, it's just about reaching the semi-final by hook or by crook. Here goes Rodman, brilliant run. Swanson on the turn, can't control, Japan can't clear, Haran deflected and hacked away by Koga. Still the USA come. Rodman, the late charge from the USA. Swanson can't get on the end of it. Picked up by Fox. Time ticks away. 90 seconds to play before extra time in this women's quarter-final. Almost a super ball through. And Japan now looking to counter. Good reactions from there. And calmly played out as well.
Yeah, the USA going for it right at the death. Again, terrific blocking there from the Japanese central defenders. They protected Yamashita, an absolute treat today. Goalkeeper, I can't remember having to make a save in this entire quarter-final, the Japanese keeper.
Here is Albert. Is there time for one final drive? It's the USA in possession with Crystal Dunn. They're not busting a gut to win it in the 90. And they pick up the pace now with Sonnet. Extra time beckons for these sides. Lovely ball through, Rodman into the area. Well, she had half a look at the referee there.
Superbly dealt with again by the Japanese back line. Well, for once, the central defender, Magai, was exposed. Out at the other end.
As Miyazawa goes for glory. And there watches it all the way. It was Hamano, in fact, with the effort. Well, that would have been a special way to win it. But it looks as though it will be extra time in this women's Olympic quarter-final. Rodman at one end, Hamano at the other. But still, the score stays goalless.
Just that touch from Koga took the ball away from the American attacker there, didn't it? I thought the USA were finally going to do it with the last kick. It did open out in the second half, but still largely a tepid display from the USA in that quarter-final.
Well, we thought they'd step it up in the second half. They weren't able to. Will they step it up in extra time? Because that's where we're heading. Normal time has come and gone. Nothing to separate these sides. And we're heading for an extra 30 minutes. And whisper it quietly, perhaps a penalty shootout after the 90. It finishes goalless between the USA and Japan. Extra time, here we come. So here we go then, extra time in the women's Olympic football quarter-final. Lindsay Horan and Kumagai Saki come together on the halfway line once more. And we were able to hear a little bit of Emma Hayes' team talk in between normal time and extra time at the Parc des Princes. And one message she repeated over and over again to her players: one moment. One moment. That's all that either of these sides needs to make it through to the semi-finals.
Thought it was going to come right at the end of the 90 as well. That opportunity for Smith, wasn't it, who was dispossessed right at the last. We're going to see some more changes, and no wonder, because there's the distinct possibility of a penalty shootout here. Coming on is Hannah Takahashi here, Lynn Williams as well. She's facing Swanson. Fresh legs up front. Finally, it is being freshened up a little bit, the attacking of the United States.
And confirmation of that Japanese change. Koga Toko replaced by Takahashi. Lynn Williams off the bench once again. She has been employed in every game here at Paris 2024. She was originally an alternate, but promoted to the main squad before the tournament after Katerina Macario pulled out through injury. She has scored at these Olympic Games late on against Germany. And she provides that extra spark in the USA attack. Or will Japan build on the good work that they've done so far, particularly through this player, Amano Maika? Chelsea attacker has looked lively since coming on at half-time in normal time. Ending early on for the USA to do, and eventually the free kick is conceded by Kitagawa.
Yeah, I thought Kitagawa might have got away there, wriggled away from the challenge. Not quite at the moment. I mean, they go shoulder to shoulder there. She sort of allows her momentum just to run in to Emily Fox.
He's had a good game for Japan, Kitagawa Hikaru.
Well, from the wide areas, both left and right, they've got him behind. Had that ability to craft those situations, but when the ball has come in, either in the air or on the ground, there's been no one on the end of it for Japan. More sort of consistent, direct attacking force, you have to say, if you were to pick the stronger team in an attacking sense from these two. Probably for the last time, it's a real surprise how the United States were in the group phase.
Yes, 3 wins out of 3, only the second time they've done that in an Olympic Games in the women's football. 9 goals scored, that's their highest total in the group stage. Looking to score early on in the first half of extra time, but Sophia Smith won't find the finish.
It's the finish again that's the problem, isn't it? Lovely little nudge down to her, but to be fair, I think there might have been a touch on that on the way through. Good cover and play by Moria, who gets across there just to deflect that shot.
So Lavelle over to take this corner. Swings it in this time. They were 2v1 once more, the USA. Japan clearly happy with leaving that overload. They want the players in the box to defend. And the header cleared away by Ueki under pressure from Emily Sonnet. Another chance for the USA. Bell will send it in once more. Ueki with the decisive header again. Here is Williams, that distinctive strapping.
หรือบางทีมันเป็นอารมณ์แบบเป็น bad actor
He became the NWSL's record goal scorer this
ห
season.
วังร้ายกับผมอะไรแบบเนี้ยไม่ชอบหน้าอยู่แล้วอยากทำให้เสื่อมเสียชื่อเสียง
Takahashi.
คนอื่นเสียหายแล้วก็
A little bit more width and pace on that cross. I mean, okay, Japan dealt with it.
มันเป็นไปได้ทั้งสองทางก็คือผมไม่ได้จะ
Do
บอกว่า
nothing with it.
คนที่ดูช่องผมบ่อยๆไปละลานของคนอื่นนะบางทีมันอาจจะเป็นแบบนั้นก็ได้นะก็คือแบบไม่เคยดูช่องผมเลยมาดูคลิปผมทีนึงแล้วก็
The
ไปด่าคน
USA
อื่นไปละลานคน
a
อื่น
little bit of an extra dimension going forward there, Lynn Williams, because it was her little layoff that fashioned that chance for Smith that yielded the corner.
มาดูช่องผมบ่อยๆคุณเป็นคนที่ติดตามช่องผมมาเนี่ยผมขอร้องเลยก็คืออย่าไปพูดถึงใครเสียหาย
3 goals in 9 appearances this season for the reigning NWSL champions, NJMY Gotham FC, picking up that little bit of history in the process. Sam Kerr had held that all-time goal-scoring record in the NWSL for so long, despite not having played there for a number of years. It is now held by the 31-year-old Lynn Williams. It's controlled by Lavelle.
แต่สุดท้ายความเป็นจริงก็คือผมก็ไม่สามารถ
Lead away by Minami.
ตัวอย่างที่ล่าสุดเราก็เห็นชัดเจนเลยแล้วก็ทำให้ผมอยากจะพูดเรื่องนี้ขึ้นมาก็คือเรื่องคลิปที่เดวิดที่ผมไปรีแอคกับ
Well, given that Japan are yet to keep a clean sheet at these Olympic Games and the USA have only won their 3-0 victory over Zambia in the group stage, can praise the defence as much as critique the attack, particularly finishing when in good positions.
รู้สึกแย่ครับ
He is looking a little bit leggy now.
Miyazawa side netting.
ควบคุมอะไรไม่ได้แต่ว่าผมเองก็ไม่อยากให้มันเป็นอย่างนั้นแต่มันอยู่เหนือการควบคุมจริงๆนะ
Ran
เหนื
out
อการควบคุมจริง
momentum really. No pressure whatsoever there, Maria. I mean, okay, the angle's against her here. Yeah, she just flashes that into the side netting.
คือก็เป็นปัญหาหนึ่งแหละก็รู้สึกว่าเรื่องนี้มันคงจะได้แค่เตือนจริงๆแล้วก็คิดว่าถ้าใครที่โดนฟ้องผมก็คงไปช่วยไม่ได้นะนี่ต้องพูดตรงๆเลยคือ
Pursued by Ueki. Done really well at winning the ball back in those tight areas, Japan, in this game.
It's going to be the same pattern since day one.
There could be an opportunity here. Sophia Smith could save Yamashita. Real chance for the USA. Good goalkeeping.
Some of these players are tiring now. He's been through. Okay, forced a little bit wide. That touch was just a little bit heavy. It closed the angle down another couple of yards or so. Perhaps unnecessarily there from Smith. And it just reduced the size of the target she was aiming at. That's a very good chance again, but I think some of these players are tiring now.
Well, she was the top scorer in the NWSL last season, Sophia Smith. Leading goal scorer this season for Portland Thorns, 10 in just 14 appearances. Puts her third on the scoring list across the NWSL for this season. She is such a talent, but when chances are so few and far between, can end up with pressure creeping in, not making the most of them. Someone is going to have to take one at some point, whether in extra time, whether via a penalty shootout. Someone is going to be the heroine, secure their side's passage to the semi-finals of the Women's Football at Paris 2024. Will it be the USA? Will it be Japan? Still in the balance.
Certainly with how sturdy the Japanese have been at the back. I mean, it's the first involvement really for Yamashita. Over 6 minutes into extra time, it was a huge chance that, like of which the USA haven't had in this quarter-final. This one they're going to rue it.
Showing why she is the regular Japanese number one. It's a position she's held for the last 2 World Cups and the last Olympics, the home Olympics for Japan in Tokyo. Sonnet. He was done. Albert. Done once more. Albert was Just adjusting her socks there and can't retain possession, then goes
จะ
down.
เป็นแนวทาง
We'll bring it forward, bit of space for Ueki to turn into. Miyazawa.
แล้วก็คิดว่า
Hasegawa. Slipped as she played the ball in, almost turned into a very good one regardless, but can't quite be reached by Kitagawa.
No,
เราจะ
Kitagawa,
เป็นการให้
the
มากที่สุด
target. Again, it's just a yard or so off, isn't it? It's a reasonable drag on
เพ
that.
ราะฉะนั้นไม่น่าจะมีปัญหาที่จะพยายามทำต่อไป
Fox just get contact on this.
อันนี้ผมว่าพี่ลองขอเขาก่อนที่จะเอาคลิปมาพูดหน่อยครับหรือพี่คิดว่าไงผมคิดว่าเรื่องการขอนี่มันไม่จำเป็น
Useful ball across there. I mean, okay, it might have just been a little bit ahead of Kitagawa, but again, it forces the United States defence to respond. And they have to lean in and extend themselves. But has got a bit of a problem here.
มันเหมือนมันเป็นเรื่องปกติแล้วที่
Yes, in the build-up to that Japan move, she went down, so concern for Emma Hayes and Corbin Albert. It will be a Japan corner when we resume. 10 minutes gone in extra time. 20 minutes to go.
มันเหมือนมันเป็น
We're heading for a
เพราะ
penalty
ฉะนั้นผมเอง
shootout.
ก็
That's what separated these sides at the World Cup in the final in 2011 as Japan lifted that trophy for the first time. That was a 2-2 draw, slightly more goalmouth action than we've seen at the Parc de France. And there are players who were involved in that penalty shootout
อันนี้ผมไม่
that
ทราบ
are
นะ
involved here, namely Kumagai Saki, the Japan captain. She scored the winning penalty at the age of just 20 years of age.
ผมคุณจะลง50โลไหมครับ
20 minutes though, still to play in extra time to avoid that
อันนี้
scenario.
ผมส่วนตัวผมไม่ทราบว่า
She's
จะ
played
เล่น
well
แก้ขอ
today. Like Kumagai as well.
ใช่ไหม
Captain there, isn't she? And you can see why she's got that role.
ก็คือตอน
Tagawa with the
จะเล่น
low
แก้ขอ
delivery.
ใช่ปะ
Well read by the USA and Crystal Dunn. Hasegawa,
อันนี้ผมสงสัยจริงๆนะว่าเขาขอจริงหรือเปล่า
Fugano, Ueki. Decent delivery, Nair's done really well. Strong goalkeeping. As Japan try and keep it alive, Rodman will clear eventually for the USA. Commanding choice by Nair. As Ueki finds Hamano, who went for that chip again, and Nair will watch it over.
That was ambitious, certainly from that kind of range. Yeah, though, the cross in causing the United States problems. That's a little bit better. That's what was sadly lacking from Japan in the wide areas. On the occasions they managed to get in behind, and the United States left and the right flanks earlier in this match.
And you can understand Hamano going for it in the final seconds of normal time when there's pretty much nothing else to do, but I'm not sure her manager, Keida Futoshi, necessarily think that that was the best option, despite her prodigious talent.
ไม่ไอเรื่องแฟร์ยูสอะครับจริงๆแล้วมันไม่ได้มีแค่กรณีเดียวเรื่องแฟร์ยูสมีหลายกรณีอย่างกรณีแบบไม่ออกมาสักลูกหรือกรณีแบบเอามาแต่ว่า
One moment, says USA manager Emma Hayes. We heard her in the team talk between normal time and extra time.
เราเพิ่มคอนเทน
One
ต์เข้าไป
moment is all it
ต่อ
takes.
ให้เอา
Will
คลิ
it
ปมา
be
ดูแต่ถ้า
the USA's moment? Will it be Japan's moment?
เปลี่ยนแปลงไปแล้วเขาใช้คำว่าถ้าเป็นภาษาอังกฤษคือ transformation มันไม่ใช่ transformation เป็น transformative
Mano.
มันก็นับเป็นแฟร์ยูส
Forward by Hasegawa. Look at the weight on that pass. Hamano can take it in her stride. Tried the back heel. It was straight into Germa. And eventually the whistle goes. Free kick to the USA. But beautiful bit of skill from Hamano Maika.
Yeah.
เนี่ยค่ะตรงนี้แหละ
Unable
มันเป็นสิ่งที่
to dovetail there with her attacking partner.
มันเป็น
The
สิ่ง
United
ที่
States getting
ผู้หนั
back
กใจ
to
พูดตรงๆเพราะว่าอะไร
dig
รู้
in.
ป่ะยกตัวอย่างเอาแบบเห็นภาพชัดเจนเลยนะ
involved in the thick of things again there.
พี่เดวิดผมพูดตรงๆอันนี้ผมพูดกับช่องแชทไปเลยแล้ว แล้วก็อันนี้ย้ำก่อนนะ
They have been building momentum.
ผมไม่ได้อะไรกับพี่เดวิด
The USA under Emma Hayes. She's won 6. She's drawn one of her 7 games in charge.
เรารีแอคกับคอนเทนต์ของ
But this is where it all comes to bear. They breezed through the group stage, the USA. They thumped Germany by 4 goals to 1. At that point, everyone thought, right, this is it. Here they go. It's back to the USA of old, with a new team perhaps, with several big names that have retired over the past few years. You can sense the pressure at the Parc des Princes.
ในคลิปมันมีคนที่แบบคอมเมนต์ใส่เขาแบบเสียๆซึ่งมันมีจริง
Hasegawa.
สบายใจผมยินดีจะลงให้
He's finding Ueki as well, anticipated by Germa.
ในใจผมคิดนะว่า
Yeah, I just think the conviction's a little bit lacking now from Japan going forward.
เข้าใจว่า
Here goes Sophia Smith. Space for Rodman.
แล้ววันนั้นผมก็เข้ามาดูเว้ย
For the
อันนี้ย้ำ
curler.
นะคุณไปดูช่องผมได้คลิปพี่เดวิด
Just not happening for the USA.
Indeed not. Again, good attacking position, and then that step inside to a lot of blue shirts. Can navigate there on the way through. But Rodman has had an off day. I don't think we can dispute that. It does happen. Too many in that bracket for me today for the USA. An improvement the deeper we got through that second half, but still not exactly the energy you expect from one of the big gold medal favourites here. Just wonder if Japan might be sort of holding on now. Penalties might be their best bet from this point on.
There's been so much to praise about their performance, hasn't there? Keeping the USA at arm's length in the first half, wasteful with the couple of very decent openings that they had. But more on the front foot in the second half. The introduction of Hamano certainly sparking that. As we approach half-time in extra time, and still nothing to separate these sides on the score sheet as Haran won't trap that, and it's through with Yamashita.
Yeah, attempted through ball. He was on the lunge a little bit on the stretch there. Haran. That's the problem with Japan right now, just hitting it into sort of those general forward areas rather than playing it into feet, which is their real strength. It's going to be quite a long final 15 minutes, I think, here for Riko Eki. Just moved into that low roll up front.
2 minutes of added time to the end of this first half of extra time. Rodman, Williams, unselfish to Haran. Perhaps there were better options. Sophia Smith has her head in her hands.
Exactly, I thought Smith was going to be the target there. I mean, that was a more Japan-like move with the ball over the top, a little cut back, a little bit more precision, or so it seemed, about that particular United States attack.
Here they come again, Rodman, nice control. Oh, beautiful from Rodman, went for the curler!
มาเกลียดผมหรือจะไม่ได้แสดงออกว่าผมเกลียดเขานะเพราะว่าทุกครั้งที่ผมพูดผมก็จะพูดตลอดว่า
Finally, we knew she's capable of it, and here it is being produced when it matters. The United States will say never in doubt, but that was an absolute peach of a goal. Finally, from the USA.
It's terrific from Trinity Rodman. This is the quality that she possesses. This is the quality that the USA possess. It has been in short supply at the Parc des Princes against Japan, who have battled so well, who have shown quality of their own in their defensive resilience, but finally that resilience is broken by one of the big gold medal favourites.
Brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. Kitagawa turned inside out, the quality of the pass up and over the top, superbly taken down. Then the spin back inside onto her left peg, and that is accurate and precise into the top corner. It is Rodman again, involved the whole way through, hasn't she, in the group stages, and a moment to savour here at the Parc des Princes. That's an excellent goal.
แล้วทำได้มากที่สุดก็คือแค่เตือนคนอื่น
Third goal of these games for Trinity Rodman. She scored the opener against Zambia.
ผมสงสารเสื้อพี่
She scored the opener against Australia. And she has got the crucial opener in extra time against Japan.
All the tension lifts all of a sudden, doesn't it, with Sophia Smith running in there, that little step over, able to protect the ball over on that far side. That's all it takes. It's what the big teams do, and what a moment to get it as well, right at the end of the first period of extra time.
Yes, virtually on the stroke of that half-time in extra time.
คลิปนั้นมันไวรัลเร็วมากคนดูอยู่ๆ
And the closest of offside calls as well. VAR is in operation. They had a look, but she just stayed on Trinity Rodman. And what a superb finish it was.
คนดูเขาโดสารเคบวก
Speed and pace and quality.
ผมไม่มีกล้าไปนะ
Skips back inside. And that kind of dynamism has been in short supply, really, from the USA. But who cares now? It's all about producing the big moments when it matters. The chips are down. The USA have done it. OK, they've still got a hold out, but I fear a little bit for Japan here because they sat back and have been punished.
Well, she said, Emma Hayes, one moment is all it takes. And Trinity Rodman has provided that moment. But we've seen enough in this quarter-final to know that Japan have the quality to respond. The only question mark is over their clinical finishing. The organisation has been top. Defensively, they had been so strong. It's taken a moment of the highest quality to undo them. But can they fashion another clear-cut chance? And can they be clinical when it comes?
I think they have to go back to basics here, the Japanese, start playing to feet again. Because up and over the top, looking for Riko Ueki, I'm not sure that's going to work. But we shall see. But you just sense now a different atmosphere around this United States team. That all that tension and the weight of expectation lifted by that goal. And now the Japanese are making further changes. Sigura coming off. Going to see Mika Ayashi by the looks of things.
Oh, she's getting absolutely every ounce of water, every ounce of energy that she can. Trinity Rodman. As we head for this second period of extra time, a moment of quality, a moment of class, a moment that has put the USA within touching distance of the semi-finals as those changes are confirmed. Chiba and Hayashi on, Kitagawa and Hasegawa off. So big players to make way for Japan, but they've given it absolutely everything. Fresh legs required. As the USA make a change as well, and Jenna Niswanger comes on in place of Rose Lavelle.
Yeah, again, that's just extra energy and fresh legs just to tighten things up here and see it out. Different kind of United States performance now from here on in. Just think the sun has come through the clouds finally for the US with that goal. Well, you mentioned it a few times. One moment, and that certainly was a moment to savour for the United States.
Can Japan fashion a moment of their own? Ueki. Kumagai. Minami. Kumagai once more. Yami getting forwards. Miyazawa. Challenged by the goal scorer Rodman. She's done well though, Miyazawa. Can't find Tamano. Fox will tidy up at the back for the USA, but well, we've got 13 and a half minutes of extra time to play. Is that going to be the pattern? Just get it away, anywhere will do. Let's preserve this 1-0 lead.
Well, the early signs are that is exactly how it's going to be. Having faith in their abilities to soak up Japan.
Lead away on the stretch by Germa, but it could break here for Japan. Pinball in the area. The USA have a player down. It's Iran. Referee allows play to continue. Here is Ueki. Might go for goal, Ueki. Well, blocked away by Crystal Dunn and cleared by the USA, but Japan will come again. And the pattern is set for extra time. They met in the World Cup final in 2011. That went Japan's way. They met 4 years later in the final once more. That went the way of the USA. This is their first meeting at the Olympics since the gold medal match at London 2012, which the USA won. And it's the USA who are on the brink of the semi-finals. But these are the sort of opportunities that Japan and Hayashi have to take.
She kind of loses that standing leg, actually, as she takes it on there, Hayashi. Substitute almost making an immediate impact in this quarter-final. That was a big chance.
Here is Williams. Smith. Rodman the goal scorer. Smith once more.
No worries for the USA. They can knock it about like this to their heart's content. Again, just that little surge from Smith and trying to work something over on the far side. I mean, they're a goal up now, so in an entirely different set of circumstances, but the kind of play that they weren't able to produce earlier in this match.
Super play by Japan down this left-hand side, but it won't reach Miyazawa.
Just an extra spring in the step now of the United States. They've remembered who they are and why they're fancied to win this gold medal. For so long stifled by the expectation, I think, in this quarter-final. Had faith in their abilities to produce that one moment. We've had it. A superb breakthrough goal.
Terrific curling strike from Trinity Rodman in extra time. Sees the USA with this 1-0 advantage.
It's a kind of, I mean, she still had work to do to turn inside and find a finish here. It's a kind of opening that, had it come earlier in the match, she miscontrols it, hits a knee or something, and just can't bring the ball under a spell. Just brings it down and then passes it straight to a Japanese player. I think most of the crowd have been a little bit surprised at sort of how inept for large portions of this match the United States have been.
Here goes Sophia Smith, and Rodman could be in again. Can she finish it? Trinity Rodman! Yamashita equal to it.
That would have been that. That would have been game over. Again, look at the room here. She stayed on side to could save this, isn't it? With that right leg of Yamashita, it's on its way into the corner. Rodman, she could have wrapped it up. It could have been semi-final for sure there for the USA. Japan still clinging on.
They come forward with Chiba. They throw everything at this Japan. And they continue to do so. And remember what they did against Brazil in the group stage. They were 1-0 down heading into added time. Here come Japan once more.
全てを救うべき
Takahashi.
เพราะว่านางทำกิจกรรมไว้เยอะก็เลยมองใน
So
แง่
many
ลบ
blue
แล้ว
shirts forward. Nagano retaining possession under real pressure.
แบบภาษาญี่ปุ่น
Didn't quite work out. USA can't get it clear
全てを
though.
救うべき
Moria. Lead away by the
คนนั้น
USA.
เรื่องเยอะมาก
And
พี่
Rodman picks it up once
พี่
more.
จะลืมดราม่าวีไทยไปเลยวันนี้มีประกวดมิตรขับโหดอีลิทไปดูไหมครับพี่โอ้ยประกวดมิตรขับโหดเหรอไม่กี่โมงอะ
Here is Rodman. Kumagai getting her body in between the ball and Sophia Smith, who's the judge to have committed the foul. Yamashita had claimed anyway. But all of a sudden, it's just starting to come together with those connections for the USA.
Exactly, and although that combination didn't come off, it was a different kind of not coming off, really.